The problem that we have is that we're trying to fit a technology designed to be a peer-to-peer payment system into a system for centralized trading. And it's not a good match, right? This is why we have these frictions. The basic idea of a custodian traditionally was this is someone who's going to physically hold your assets. They're going to have a vault or something, right? And we're going to make sure that the door is, a sufficient number of inches thick and that it's fireproof for 24 hours, not just for 12 or the like. And that's a really different set of skills than are required to secure crypto. And though I think the idea of a custodian has a lot of merit to it, and there are some, especially when we're an investment advisor, investment company, we probably want to be a little more careful with self-custody in that context. But when you're, or really at that point, the investment advisor would be the custodian if they're self-custodying because they're doing it for someone else. The skill set that's needed is different than what traditional custodians have. And I think that we should be having a regulatory framework that acknowledges that. Now, that doesn't mean that that we shouldn't have any rules about who can be a custodian, but we should be recognizing that your traditional financial institutions may not be the right ones to be doing crypto custody.
Retailers are warning of empty shelves reminiscent of the pandemic, with the 145% tariff on nearly all Chinese imports in place.
Tariffs are unsustainable because the Chinese cannot sustain this. That if the business people, like the gentleman you interviewed, stop ordering, China has no business model. Their business model is predicated on selling cheap, subsidized goods to the U.S. And if there is a sudden stop in that, they will have a sudden stop in the economy, so they will negotiate.
Walmart, Target delivered a warning to President Trump that some of the shelves could be empty within a matter of weeks. I know you're looking forward, but this is a concern right now.
And that's why we are negotiating these deals, and we're moving forward with this. And again, as the gentleman in Annapolis said, Martha, the goal is not to manufacture dog collars again in the U.S. That the president is looking forward to the jobs of the future, not the jobs of the past. I don't know if President Trump has spoken with President Xi. I know they have a very good relationship and a lot of respect for each other. But again, I think that the Chinese will see that this high tariff level is unsustainable for their business model.
And the consumers acting that way by sort of withdrawing from the market and only buying the essentials and the necessity products or products they think they can buy today because they may be more expensive tomorrow.
Or perhaps not on shelves tomorrow. That's something that we heard some of these retail CEOs privately told the White House in meetings this week. And our Richard Escobedo reports that in a separate meeting, the Treasury Secretary told investors the booking of container ships that carry goods between China and the U.S. is down more than 60%.
Well, we're seeing the data. The vast majority of small business toy stores cannot order toys today because they cannot afford the 145% tariff. So they're making a conscientious decision. Right. They're either going out of business or they're just going to wait and see what happens. So you're right. The lag effect of getting goods to this country will not be felt for another 2 to 4 weeks.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you're joining the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. And also, guys, make sure you go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we know peer-to-peer technology is probably one of the best inventions known to man. If someone is in need all around the world, we all can send them money without any middleman. But of course, we know the central banks don't want that. And that's the reason why they're pushing stable coins. But we know the big banks are definitely going to control custody. And that's why it's so important for you to self-custody and also have the knowledge. Because we know the masses are going to swoop right on in, right with the bank. They're going to go what they know. These big banks have been holding my money, and I'm going to continue on letting them. But if you're getting government benefits of any sort, we know they're going to custody your funds. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And you know the crypto teacher sent you out a warning in the Patrons and on this channel. Make sure you're getting yourselves prepared. Get your necessities now. And now the big box retailers are saying that shelves are going to be empty in weeks. And I don't think it's going to happen that soon, but it's definitely going to start getting tight. By the back half of this year, especially back to school, you're going to see the items, but not the items that you want. And we have Scott Besson says that China can't sustain with these high tariffs. Remember, guys, they've already moved the goods to the emerging markets and to the mainland. They can care less how big the tariff is. The only person that's going to be hurting is the United States. But remember, they're using these tariffs to change the supply chain. Also, to change America's spending habits. They can no longer spend the way they've been doing. And this is the easy way of doing it. Problem, reaction, solution. And we have Scott Besson clearly says that Trump is looking to the future. And we know that's the robots, algorithms, and drones. And majority of the manufacturing are going to be done by the bots. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And retail companies like Walmart, 60 to 70% of their goods come from China. So Walmart is definitely going to take a temporary hit. But remember, Walmart has been setting up for all this new technology for over 20 years. Guys, remember, they have to get us moved over to the fourth industrial revolution. They want to move over to these machines, but when they move over to these machines, that means we're going to get mass layoffs. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have CNBC and Fox says that factories are closing in China, but we have Alibaba is hiring. And yes, some of the factories have paused. The reason why, because they're redirecting their goods to the emerging markets. And Trump told us there's going to be some pain. And we know what he has to do. Take this dollar off the reserve currency and bring it to a level playing field. And then also cut the spending that Americans do. All this debt has to be cut because America is no longer going to be the consuming nation. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And that's the reason why gold is the best performer this year. And we know why. The central banks are buying it up because the central banks destroy the dollar. The Fed printed 80% of all money in existence in 2 years. They were speeding up the death in order to bring in the fourth industrial revolution. And we know Trump only has a few years to land us in this new digital economy. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
A statement saying, quote, China firmly opposes any party reaching a deal at the expense of China's interests. If this happens, China will never accept it, and it will resolutely take countermeasures in a reciprocal manner. China is determined and capable of safeguarding its own rights and interests.
Alibaba in China trying to source more material out of small factories in China. I'm hearing factories are closing all over China.
Yeah.
People are being laid off. That seems to me to be the big pressure point. What do you think? Are they the Chinese consumer is historically and famously reluctant to buy or to up their purchases, but can this initiative from Alibaba and other companies actually take hold?
You're quite right. I've been watching Chinese television over the last couple of days. They are covering layoffs, factories closing, the number of containers that are not moving at all. So the Chinese Communist Party line in the last few days has been to highlight, look how much we're suffering.
Yeah.
Now, as you know, Liz, Xi Jinping has got his own power base. There's something like 500 families or so who are the owners or the beneficiaries of the state-owned enterprises. And they're the ones who are going to have to will be hurt the most if there's a deal with President Trump to drop tariffs.
Gold prices fell midweek, interrupting an historic rally, but the precious metal is by far the best performing investment this year. It's the Barron's cover story this week. Ben, gold is up 27% in just 4 months. What's fueling all this buying?
Uncertainty. I mean, when you have no idea what's going on, you want to buy gold. Gold has been there from the beginning, and it tends to go up when people are worried about things. Are they worried about inflation? Sure, it goes up. Are they worried about the changes to the world order? Well, you buy gold. But this rally actually started a bit ago. It really got supercharged in 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine and the U.S. froze Russia's central bank assets. And that made people who might have adversarial relationships with the United States say, you know what, we need to put some of our dollars elsewhere. And they've put it into gold, and others have followed. You have citizens of many foreign countries have been putting money into gold as well, and that has just caused it to shoot higher.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're going to get more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told told his members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will. During that auction that we saw a little bit before, the attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books, It's Time to Re-Educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate. Not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.